Okay, so now we are looking at note values. Very important topic in how to read and write music. Okay, so each musical note lasts for a certain length of time. Musicians measure this time by feeling the number of silent regular beats within the note value. The beat used to measure the notes in grade 1 is the crotchet. Okay, so we're going to talk about notes, what they look like, how many crotchet beats they last for. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is the semibreve. The semibreve looks like this, so it's an empty note head, and that lasts for 4 beats. Now at this point I'm going to show you an observation that might help you. It might not, but it might help you to remember how long these notes last for and which one is the longest, which one is the shortest in terms of how many crotchet beats they last for. If we just move over to my stave over here, the first note we're looking at is the semibreve. Okay, I'm going to do one on each stave. I've got my sheet music here, and this is my top stave. I'm going to do one on here. Oh, I'm not going to do it there because that's not actually a full stave. It's only got 4 lines and we need 5. So let's just use the middle line each time. So that is a semibreve. So it's just one empty note head, nothing else, and that's worth 4 crotchet beats. Okay. Now the next note we're looking at is a minim. A minim lasts for 2 crotchet beats. And what does it look like? It looks just like the semibreve, but it has an addition, and the addition is a stem. Now remember it's on the middle line, so from the previous topics you remember I can go up or down on the middle line. I've chosen to go up, and that is 2 beats. 2 crotchet beats. So notice what's happening so far. I've got an empty note head, 4 beats. I then go to add something. As I add something, that something on this case being the stem, what happens to this number? Absolutely, it halves from 4. Half of 4 is 2. So the number is going down and it's halving as I add something. Okay, so the next note we're looking at is a crotchet, and it looks like that. So I'm just going to draw my crotchet here. Now, what am I doing here? Let's start as if it was a minim. And what am I doing? I'm doing something extra, and that is colouring in that initially empty note head. So what do I do to the number? I halve it. 1, obviously 1 crotchet beat because it is a crotchet. So can you see what's happening? Every time I add something, the beat, the value of the note halves. And the last one is the quaver, sorry. Okay, looks like this. Now actually, if they're grouped together, so let's draw it like crotchets. I'm going to do 2 together. And what you do to group them together is join them up like that. Now, that's 2 quavers. So 2 quavers equals 1 crotchet beat. But 1 quaver on its own, and I'll do it here, looks like this. Just with a little tail on it, a stem and a tail, okay? And of course we halve, so it's half crotchet beat. So what we've added here is a little flick, a little tail. Okay, so that is our notes. So we've got the semibreve at the top, semibreve, like this, we've got the minim, and we've got the crotchet, and the quaver, which is half a crotchet beat. Okay, so remember, you start with an empty note head and you add something each time halving the value of the note. Okay, so there's quite a lot to take in. You might want to watch that video again and go through and make your own notes so that you can really get that stuck in your brain. Okay, now there's one other thing to show you. This is a little bit complicated when you first look at it. A dotted minim. Okay, so it's a minim but with a dot next to it. Okay, what on earth is that worth, I hear you ask? All the dot does is the dot, so let's just draw a minim here. Okay, so there's my minim. I'm going to actually choose to put my stem down this time, because remember it's in the middle line, I can go up or down. What the dot does, so we've got a minim here. How many beats is a minim worth? Let's have a look. How many beats is one of those worth? It's worth, there's a minim, 2 crotchet beats. Okay, so we've got 2 crotchet beats. And what the dot, I'll just put my dot in. What the dot does is it adds half the value, again, of the note that it's next to. So this note we know is a minim, it's worth 2. What is half of 2? So you need to now work out, so it's really saying 2 plus half of 2 equals. So let's just work that out. What is half of 2? 1. Oh, what's going on with my 1? 1. So you end up with the sum 2 plus 1 equals 3. So my dotted minim is worth 3 beats. So the dot adds on half the value of the note that it's next to. So then on this homework you've got some sums to do. So you need to work out, remember quaver is worth half, plus a half, plus 1, plus 2. You should be able to work those out if you remember either this that is on your handout or this. I might just turn it around actually so you can see the whole thing. Or this that I've drawn out for you. Let's just put it a bit more into the light. There. Okay, so we've got semi-breve at the top, then minim, 2 beats, then crotchet, 1 beat, and then quaver, half a crotchet beat. Or if 2 of them together, they hold hands, and obviously half plus a half is 1. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, and actually you've got quite a few sums to practice. Okay, if you this handout is actually 2 sheets long this time.